The princess had everything she ever wanted: wealth, power, an entire kingdom that worshipped her. But something was missing, a void in her heart that ached with every passing day. That was until Sir Gideon came along. Gideon was a renowned knight, valiant, strong, and impossibly handsome. He'd been brought to the kingdom as a last resort to protect the princess from the growing threat of neighboring kingdoms. Princess Amara had seen many knights before, but none had captivated her like Gideon had. His courage was unmatched. His kindness knew no bounds. And soon enough, she found herself falling in love with him, hopelessly and irrevocably. Their love story was one for the ages, a whirlwind romance that blossomed amidst the looming danger. Every stolen glance, every shared smile, every touch was electric. For a moment, the threat of war, the looming battles faded into the background. All that mattered was their love for each other. But destiny, it seemed, had other plans. The neighboring kingdom, envious of their kingdom's prosperity, had declared war. The once peaceful land was now preparing for battle. Knights were readying their armor, weapons were being sharpened, and the people were bracing themselves for the worst. And amidst this chaos, Princess Amara was faced with a terrible choice. She could either marry a man she didn't love to secure an alliance with a neighboring kingdom, or face the impending doom that was rapidly approaching. Torn between her duty and her heart, Amara chose love. She decided to marry Gideon, the man who made her heart sing, the man who was her rock in the sea of troubles. Their wedding was a grand affair, a celebration of love and unity amidst the darkness that was enveloping the kingdom. But the festivities were short-lived. The neighboring army was at the gates, and now it was time for Gideon to don his armor and lead the charge. Amara watched as her beloved rode out of the gate, his back to her, his shoulders squared, facing the rising sun. There was a sadness in his posture, a burden in his stance that mirrored the turmoil in her own heart. He turned then, catching her eye, and in that moment, all the fear, all the uncertainty vanished. All that remained was the love they shared, a love that was fierce, a love that was unwavering. He fought with the valor of a seasoned warrior, with the heart of a man in love. And though the battle raged on for hours, it seemed like Gideon was unstoppable. But war is a cruel mistress. For every victory, there is a cost. And as the sun began its slow descent, casting long shadows on the battlefield, Gideon found himself wounded, his armor dented, his strength ebbing away. Despite his injuries, he managed to return to the castle. His one thought, to see Amara, to hold her one last time. She was waiting for him, her face ashen, her eyes filled with a terror that mirrored his own. He reached out to her, his voice a hoarse whisper, and in that moment they forgot the war, the kingdom, everything but their love. But the reprieve was short-lived. The neighboring king, a cruel, merciless man, had entered the fray, intent on finishing off Gideon and claiming the throne for himself. He advanced towards them, his eyes gleaming with triumph. In a desperate attempt to protect her people, Amara stepped forward, offering herself as a hostage. The king paused, surprised by her audacity, and in that moment of hesitation, Gideon lunged, his sword flashing in the firelight. The king roared in anger, and the ensuing battle was swift and brutal. It was clear that the king was a formidable opponent, but Gideon, fueled by love and desperation, fought with a ferocity that surprised even himself. But as the fight intensified, so did the determination in Gideon's eyes. With a final surge of strength, he disarmed the king, his sword clattering to the ground. The king, enraged and defeated, was at Gideon's mercy. But instead of delivering the killing blow, Gideon did something that shocked them all. He offered the king a chance to surrender, a chance to lay down his arms and live. In that moment, surrounded by the fallen soldiers and the terrified townspeople, Gideon didn't just win a battle, he won their respect, their admiration, their hearts. The king, realizing the futility of further resistance, surrendered. And as the cheers of the crowd filled the air, Gideon turned to Amara, his love, his reason for fighting, and in her eyes, he saw the reflection of the hero she had always known him to be.